Good morning, everyone. My name is Laviero Buono, and I will be the chair for this session titled Social Networks Investigations. This is not my voice, it's fake.
Hey! This is not me. Well, I mean, it is me, but I never said those words. What we did there was to train the AI software with my voice. Once the software got familiar with my voice, we could text what we wanted him to tell. Text to voice. So, say it again.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Laviero Buono, and I will be the chair for this session titled Social Networks Investigations. This is not my voice, it's fake.
What you just saw was a deep fake, or voice fake, synthetic voice created by machine learning models. This is introducing our third episode, Deepfakes in Criminal Justice. I'm Laviero Buono, lawyer at the Academy of European Law. Well, you can go now. Our expert today is Giulia Kalpochine, Lithuanian lawyer and policy consultant on IP, tech and law, and artificial intelligence. Welcome, Giulia. Giulia, first question for you. What is deepfake and why is it important for lawyers to be aware of this technology?
Hello, thank you, Laviero. Thank you for having me here. And indeed, what is a deepfake? There are different technologies how you can produce a deepfake video, but for example, you can take video material, so something that you want to have as a result in terms of what is happening in it, and then using other sources, either video footage or say photographs of the individual that you want to have in that video. You can swap the face or you can swap other items or things in the video, and you can also have audio from a source. So it could be either the audio from the original video that stays, or you can have really the voice of the target individual there. And the result is that you look at something that has never happened, but it might look like something that is being filmed. So why do we use it? What is the technology used for? It can have a lot of very good uses. For example, in the cinema, in movie industry, it enables to create realistically looking figures. You could have an animal, for example, behaving like a human, or you could have a sequel after a death of an actor, for example. However, what we see from evidence and from research that the majority of deepfakes are actually pornographic material that is circulated out there. So of course, it's not something that is desirable. And also, increasingly, with the technology being more and more accessible to everyone, it's being used for criminal purposes as well. So why do we need to talk about it? Why do we lawyers need to understand how the technology works? Simply to know what we can anticipate. So whilst traditionally it used to be the case that if you see video material, it is normal to assume that it's something that really happened. However, now the status quo is changing, and it is so that it could be a fake video. So it is important to assess and look for signs, or even go to specialists and examine the material to make sure that it's what really happened.
How can we detect if something is a deep fake? Can we recognize deep fakes just by looking at them?
Indeed, Laviero. Can we actually recognize if something that we're seeing is not a real video, that is a deep fake? Sometimes it is obvious. And it, of course, depends on what technology has been used to produce the outcome. Sometimes just by looking at something, you're pretty sure. It may be that it's so outrageous that that particular person would never say something like that, or wouldn't act in that way. Or maybe their manners are not the way that they normally behave. Or if it's just the face that was swapped, maybe they don't look the way you expect them to look. But also there are other signs that can tell you and you can recognize. For example, you need to look at, at different details that may not look realistic. Say you look at facial hair. It could be while producing the video. It could be taken off or added, but it could look a bit unrealistic. It could be the glasses or hair that don't really look realistic. It could be that the behavior or the place where the person is placed within the environment doesn't look realistic, it doesn't look natural, and it could be a sign. However, when really good technology is being used, unfortunately, sometimes it's impossible to tell that something is actually deepfake. There are different detection programs and software, so it is possible to use technology to detect. However, there is a problem, and we will never have a 100% accurate detection tool. Because how deepfake technology works is that it learns, and the better the detection technology you have, the better can become the program, the technology that actually is producing the deepfake video. So it's kind of learning all the time, and it can learn from the detection tool. So you can't really produce a really good detection tool and have it forever. It may well be that whilst the tool is really good today, it may no longer be as effective in a few days' time or in a few months' time. So it's really constantly evolving area. And it's important to be vigilant. It's important to understand when to engage professionals.
What are the trends in respect to deepfakes? What is the impact of this technology on the criminal justice system?
So in terms of the trends and regulatory trends, if we look at, for example, Europe, there is this trend to mark the content that is not authentic or the content that is synthetic. So including deepfakes, it's not really synthetic content, but it's altered. So we have two ways of kind of marking this content. One is that whenever it's produced, it would be marked, but also flagging it up on different platforms when it is uploaded. But also those that share certain content or if use AI tools, they have to be transparent. So one of the transparency requirements would be to actually make clear that AI technology is being used. However, of course, when we talk about perpetrators, for example, they're not going to come forward and say that they're using a deepfake video for something to achieve their ends. If we look elsewhere in other jurisdictions, of course, there are jurisdictions where, for example, deepfake technology is mentioned in the law specifically. So it really depends on jurisdiction. However, we have one important vital aspect is that unless we can identify that something is a deepfake, we can't really deal with it. So it's important to be able to detect deepfakes. But also if we talk about the impact on the justice system, there are many layers. First of all, this technology and its prevalence and availability at relatively low costs to everyone actually makes it much easier to perpetrate crime. And we can hear increasingly about spear phishing attacks, about fake calls where you hear a voice and it sounds really familiar and then you learn that it was a deepfake. And in this way, fraud can be perpetrated and the losses can be really, really large. But also when we move to the procedure in court, to court cases, there are already reports and instances where, for example, fake evidence was submitted, so deepfake videos, and there are two aspects to it. First of all, it is important to ascertain whether evidence is really truthful, if it's really not a fake. But also on the other hand, sometimes when evidence is submitted, the sheer chance that it could be fake could provide leverage to the party. So we need to keep in mind that experts are important and they can provide clarity and their expertise on this.
Thank you, Giulia. It was great having you. Ready now for the 4th episode, AI and Cybercrime. We will host George Zlati, criminal defense lawyer specialized in cybercrime and blockchain technology. We will hear how AI is changing the cybercrime modus operandi. Stay with us.